Um, Nothing much, man. I just moved back to Oakland last
Yeah.
um
You said
what was that?
last week.
Yeah, last Monday I moved. I still have to get my room settled and painted and stuff like that, but I feel really, really good right now.
That's
Uh,
home for you?
Los Angeles is home, but I lived
Okay.
in Oakland for like the past 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So I was out here for 2.5 years. Then COVID started, so I had to move. And
Right.
yeah, I stayed in LA for the summer, and then I officially came back. So I'm just like,
Okay. Got you. Some new transitions for you.
where are you at?
I'm in Dallas with the family. So
Okay.
we're originally from Wisconsin, but most of my family, like immediate family, lives here. So right now I'm basically housed in my sister's house. She's in Iowa, so she's been gone for like a couple of months. So I'm kind of just alone, but close near family, you know.
Yeah. I remember the
Yeah.
last time we talked, we were both in the UK.
Yep. Yep.
And
Dude, oh my God, I was so mad we couldn't do that video, bro.
okay, so I was as soon as you said, "Hey, Mimi, I'm in the UK. What's up?" I was like, "Nigga, we're gonna shoot this
Yes.
video. Like, what's
I
going on?"
was looking up spots on Instagram, like, oh, this looks nice. Camden was dope as fuck.
I love Camden. I love
Yeah.
Camden. Camden.
But I love that video that you did, dude.
Oh, and Paris.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I was like, see, this it's so simple, but it's like so it's like clean and tender. You know what I mean? It was
Oh,
so nice.
thank you
Yeah,
so much.
definitely.
Let's hop into it. You got the question. How you feeling?
Yes, I got the question, so I looked at them maybe twice, like once right now when you first sent them, because I didn't want to like over prepare. I'm a like hardcore over preparer, and I just want to be kind of raw. And I've been watching everybody else, and some of them didn't even either.
Yeah, yeah, I'm right here. Can
Either okay,
you
some
hear
of
me?
them didn't like prepare. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I was watching some of your previous interviews, and some of them didn't prepare. So I was like, I like that though. Just straight out, like what's on your heart, what's on your mind, right there and then. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so
I want
I
everybody.
like the question. I
Uh,
can't remember.
what was that?
I'm sorry. I think my Wi-Fi is so slow. I like the questions, but I can't remember them. But yeah,
Okay, that's what I'm here for. Okay, so the
definitely.
first one, tell me about yourself, name, age, occupation,
Okay.
and pronouns.
Okay. So she, her pronouns. Um, I'm 30 years old. My name is Talaya McCain. Like I feel like I'm in an interview, but most people call me McCain, as you know. My occupation is a small business. I own a small business. It's difficult with occupations. Like, what do you do to pay bills? You know.
I
So it's like I own a small business, but I identify as a writer. You know.
mhm.
So yeah. So I love to write. I write music and I write poetry and I want to write some short books. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And just for some context for people who are watching or listening, McCain and I have music together, and
Yes.
arguably, I think Dichotomy is one
Yes.
of the most beautiful tracks that I
It
have
is.
on Rough Diamond, and I'm so thankful that you were able to like just come in and like be
It was such a
sweet.
good ass vibe. Like listening to the whole thing, and I had someone in my car while I was listening to it for the first time, and they were like, "Oh, like they were blown away." Like first off, it sounds so well mixed, and then the song was just good itself. It's like I love that song.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. If
Definitely.
you feel comfortable, what's your general gender expression, and how do you sexual identify?
So I has been a journey.
Hmm.
Starting off as lesbian, now I'm somewhere queer, or I say I'm really deep into queer. you know, more so attracted to that's difficult because when you express your gender or your sexuality, it's not really necessarily about who you're attracted to. So I'm gonna leave that out, but I'm gonna say queer, yeah, gender, female. Yeah.
Where do you find home?
Um, I'm a Pisces, so we super go with the flow, and I feel like I can find home wherever I am. But also, there's something inside of me that wants that place. That's all my shit is there, all my art that I've collected through traveling, all over the walls. You know, my law school papers are on the walls that I bust my ass for, you know what I mean? So when I'm with my family, it feels good. When I'm traveling, it feels good. But ultimately, I think I haven't quite found home yet. Except for like right here in my own little zone. This is my home, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Can you tell me a little bit about your school, like your school? I know you were practicing law when we were talking
Yeah.
about UK.
Yeah.
We also used to go to Cal State LA,
Yes.
which
Yep.
is
Yep.
beautiful. Tell me
So
about
Cal State LA, I finished.
yeah,
What's
tell
that?
me about it. Go for it.
My bad. There's a lag, so I'm sorry me interrupting you. But yeah, Cal State LA, I did pre-law with a minor in Pan-African Studies, which is probably how our paths crossed at some point. I met so many awesome people, and some of the people on this podcast series look familiar. I'm sure I met them out and about. And now I'm studying law in Leeds, UK. Well, not in Leeds anymore, but I'm studying international human rights over there. So yeah.
So are
That's
you
what I'm doing. Although I'm debating on whether I want to keep doing it with Corona going on, tuition is rising, and I'm paying for school out of pocket. So kind of want to invest that money into my own shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
That's how I'm feeling like.
Can you
Yeah.
tell me about
Yeah. Yeah.
Girls ATL?
Yeah. So Girls ATL was my baby. I started so many businesses literally since I was like 6 years old. I always been a little entrepreneur. But Girls ATL is the only one that made it, you know what I mean, past those rough periods. So I was living in China for about a year or so, and I met a gold plug out there, really cool ass Chinese kid. He spoke perfect English, which where I was not. It was very rare. And he had someone in the States, and he connected me up. And then when I came back home, just like shooting the breeze, wasn't really even thinking about doing it. And I decided to get into it, and it like took off on its own. It's one of those products that kind of sells itself for real as long as you stay consistent with it. So Grills ATL at Grills ATL, gold and silver custom designs. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pull through and get me some grills. I've never really
Yeah.
considered it,
I
but
got you.
I
Yeah. And that's how it is, because I think it has such a like a contextual stigma around it. Once I get into it, I tell you, so many of my customers are teachers, and then I'm like, oh shit, I was a teacher for umpteen years, you know what I mean? And like everyone that I really bond with, my customers, so far as the people that I go and do a pop-up shop for them, they just be the most solid people. It's like whatever negative ideas you may have or preconceived notions about it, it's like it's very fickle, you know what I mean? Like those are not my main customers at all, you know. So, yeah.
How has it been as a Black and queer person starting a business? You said you've had so many that have failed. What has been that experience?
You know, one thing that has really made an impression on me is people always say, what up? Like, what up, dude? What up, bro? What up, man? You know what I mean? They just assume, because it's in the DMs or it's on the website, and they just assume right away what I am or who I am, what I'm about, how they talk to me, how they think they could finagle me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, you know, that's actually not me at all. And then I'll respond back, I'm like, sis, like I'll put sis in quotation marks, and I'm like, hey, what up? How you doing, brother? You know? And it's just funny, people assume certain things. But I think with things such as this, they're kind of like a double-edged sword, because you can use these type of things to your benefit. And my primary clientele that I just really sought after, really like approach and ask for help, to be honest, were queer Black people in Atlanta, and they have such a strong community there of like queer small business owners. And they supported me like crazy. So I really, to be honest, I use it to my advantage. I'm different. It's probably, I don't know for sure, I'm not gonna put it on books, but I haven't seen anybody else that looked like me doing grills in Atlanta.
Wow.
Or maybe in LA for sure, but like not all over the place. And people gravitate towards me because of it for sure.
Well, I wouldn't think that for Atlanta.
Yeah.
I always thought Atlanta was like a hub of like queer expression, especially in the South. So that's interesting.
So, you know, I went to school in Atlanta first when I was like 18, 19. And my first impression of Atlanta's LGBTQ plus scene was very like dichotomized, for reference, right? It was very polarized. It was just like either you were, let me choose my words wisely, either you were like a very hardcore, like extra large shirt wearing 38 size pants on your slim waist side type of aggressive stud.
Mm-hmm.
And even the word stud, I don't go by that word, and I try to identify people as that word, but either you were a stud or a femme, to be blank. You know what I mean? And it's like anywhere in between there was weird for the Black community. And there's two different prides in Atlanta, and I always didn't really vibe with that. And so when I was younger, 18, 19, 20, 21, when I first moved to Atlanta, I really didn't like the gay scene there. And then when I went to LA, I was like, yes, you know, like everybody doing whatever the fuck. Mustache Mondays was like heaven, you know? And so it's better now though.
Can you talk
about the gay scene? Love y'all.
I love it. Yeah, we love you. Can you talk about Mustache Mondays? Because not a lot of people, I feel like if you weren't a part of that scene, of that moment, you really don't know what that was.
Yeah.
But it was exactly that heaven.
It was. And it seemed like it was such a short period of time, but it kind of rolled me through my LA days. You know, it was something I look forward to every week. I would go out on Monday as opposed to Saturday. And when you walk in, it wasn't like sometimes the vibe, like West Hollywood, is kind of like, who do you know? Yeah. No, like Nacho, I was so young, first off, and I feel like he was so much older than me. And he was so welcoming, and he just always gave me a hug, always gave me a kiss. And like, it'll be other people there, like buying you drinks, and everybody actually, I know not everybody there was LGBTQ+, but they were just open. It attracted a crowd. Exactly. It attracted a crowd that was just open and free and loving, and everybody it was like a community for real. Yep. And then when it moved, everybody followed, and then that one after party came out in Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
And they tried to create the same environment, but it wasn't quite, but it was still good, but it wasn't quite yet. But yeah, that was home. That Mustache Mondays was like a home spot for sure.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for expressing that, because sometimes, I mean, I have a lot of my mustache family that I'm very connected to, but I just feel like no one knows. And it's okay. A part of me is like, it's okay if no one knows, but when you say like, no, Mustache was home, it signifies for me that I know that those spaces can be created, and there's a legacy and a lineage that's associated with Mustache that I hope really flourishes out into the world. Definitely. Because of what Nacho created.
Definitely. And I think that like, at that time in my life, I was like just getting in school, and I think a lot of people there were like, we were hustling, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So to have a space where you can go in, you can get you a $3 Tecate, you know what I'm saying? And you can like, you could just chill, you could go by yourself and meet people or see people you know, and it was a good ass spot, man. It's very rare.
R.I.P.
Yep, R.I.P. for sure.
What are you searching for?
Oh, that's a good question. I was thinking about this one actually, because we get so disillusioned by what you're supposed to be searching for, or et cetera. And I think ultimately, for me, I would have to say I'm just searching for me, I suppose. You know what I mean? Like, I can't remember. I read this book once, and he said, it may have been Alchemist. He said something about going along, like traveling and finding and looking for something, but realizing he found himself along the way. And I feel like that's how I left. That's how I left Cali, and I went to China, and I was, I gotta find something to scratch that itch, you know what I mean? And it's like, you'll never find it. You'll never find that one thing outside of you. And it's just like, searching within is the hardest task, because it seems so intangible. It seems so like, I don't even know, like you can't grasp it. But if I could just return to my true self, I think I'll be blessed.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
In media or like in stories, where do you see yourself?
You said what?
In media or like in stories, whether it be a book or a television show, where do you currently like? Where do you see yourself represented?
Yeah, right. I got you. Black is king. Yes, bitch. I was crying. I was dancing. I was like, yes, you know. And yeah, I really, really love that. I watched it with my mom too. And then the next day I watched the WAP video and I was like, nope. Right. But now I'm like, there's space, right? It was too much. Like Beyonce teaching us how to be proud. These motherfuckers trying to make us bust it open. Like, but no, there's space for both. You know what I mean? That's the diversity of life. And I think right now I'm reading, it's such a horrible title. It's so corny. It's called You Are a Badass. It's a long title, but it's basically You Are a Badass. It's kind of like a self-help book, which I hate to say because that just makes people not want to read it right off the bat.
I think
people hate self-help books. People hate self-help books. They're just like, all right, you know. I could be like, I'm reading this murder mystery. They're like, oh yeah. I'd be like, I'm reading a self-help book. They'd be like, nah. But I think that book is really good. It talks a lot about deconditioning the mind, deconditioning yourself from these generational habits of just self-hate and lack of self-awareness and guilt and just being really hard on yourself, you know, in every sense of the way. And that book right there it's been putting me on, you know. Okay. So I see myself in that.
As an MC, who motivated you? Who made you be like, I can do that?
Right. Ooh, Aaliyah, for sure. Yes. Aaliyah started me with my love of music, and like I think back about it, and I realized like the things that I loved about her was her gender play. You know what I mean? Like how she dressed and all this whatnot, and I really am so thankful for Aaliyah's music. It's like being a little ass kid and having something that made you feel these elevated emotions, you know, that is beautiful. Currently, or I guess I like a lot of rock too. I like, I like Queen. I love Queen. Recently I've been like playing the guitar and a violin, and I should have them around here so you can see them, but there's one in the back corner, the bass.
Corner.
All the way back there. Anyways, her name is Eleanor. After right after Eleanor Rigby, which brings us back to the Beatles, which is one of my favorites as well. James Brown for sure. Sam Cooke for sure. You have to stop me, girl, because I love Vertigo Quartet. It's one of my favorites, like freestyle jazz, kind of contemporary. James Blake. It's like alternative R&B. I love James Blake so much.
Last album?
Yes, girl. I think Are You in Love? Ooh, that's right there. It's like, oh my God. Yes, I'm not even gonna try it. That's you. You got that. And it's so dope. I loved it because it's also like run love, you know? And I think like I want to get a tattoo, like, are you in love? Or are you in love? Like run love, you know what I mean? Because love is scary, Mimi. Is love scary to you?
Is love scary to me?
Yes. We're flipping the interview around.
Love is, you know, I've been talking to my friends about this lately. So because I'm a queer woman, a queer femme, I have a lot of very intense, complex relationships that are very intimate. But they have like but they're like friendships, but they're not friendships. They're like soul ships. As far as relationships go, like I've never been in love. Neither I've had someone love me out loud. If that makes sense.
Definitely.
And I find myself now that I'm about to turn 30. I'm in the space of like that romantic intimacy, like it still exists for me. For a long time, I just kind of put it to the side because I was like, I have all these relationships that
Right.
make up for that. You know,
Definitely.
if I'm fucking on someone, sure, like it is what it is, but there's no like really like intimate, and I'm just like, no, I deserve an intimate romantic relationship with whoever that is, but I do want that, and
You want
it's
monogamy?
what was that?
You want monogamy?
Um,
Um, hmm.
I do because I'm a stingy person. Like I not stingy, but I'm like you're mine and you're mine.
Right.
That's real for me.
For sure. The no polyamory for you. Yeah.
Are you into monogamy or polyamory in your love relationships?
I've only, well, not only, but I've dated primarily polygamously or polyamously pretty much all of my dating life. But recently, like the last 2 years, I've only wanted monogamy. And I can't even see myself flirting with polyamory. I'm just like, it's exhausting. You know, I just want that solid partner. You know what I mean?
Is it because you met someone, or is it because yeah, you did? Tell me about that.
Oh,
Tell me about it if you feel open and
no,
willing.
it's not because I met someone. It's because I was in my last polyamorous relationship. It was so difficult, which was in Atlanta. And shout out to those girls. You know, I don't know if they're gonna see this, but it's all love, guys. They were two Virgos, which is my mom's sign as well, and it was intense for me, you know. And so that kind of, and I've had like successful ones. Obviously, I'm not still with them, so success is relative. But I've had, you know, fairly decent polyamorous relationships. But I don't know, at this time, especially like you said, when you have your platonic friends, that they kind of stimulate that need for affection and love. You kind of want something like real solid,
Yeah.
like that partner that's just like kind of hustling with you, like hitting the bricks with you. You know what I mean? And I would like that. I would like a monogamous relationship for sure.
How are you feeling? A lot of my stuff comes from deciding whether I want to have children or not. Um,
Mm.
so how are you? That's why I'm like, I'm at
Yeah,
I'm at that age where I'm just like, who am I? Who's the woman I'm
yeah,
becoming? Do I want a family? Do I want all these things, or do I just want to reject them? Or is there some, fine medium I could find? But how are
yeah.
you with wanting children, if you don't mind me asking?
I definitely want children. Yeah, I want children so bad, actually. Right now, because my sister is out of state, I'm taking care of my great niece.
Mhm.
Um, this is our wall. It's like
Oh,
it's all her little stickers.
oh, that's amazing.
And she's 4, and I love it. I love waking up early as fuck, making her breakfast, all like organic and stuff, you know, and like packing her little lunch, sending her to school, picking her up. I put her in Spanish lessons online. Have her Spanish lesson. We go swimming, all this type of little cute stuff, you know, and it's so fulfilling. It really isn't it. It's annoying to me because I try so hard to not be like this like clock. And that's what essentially everyone is. We all have like these biological clocks no matter what. And I try not to like fall into that, but my body is craving it. You know, my body is wanting kids at this point more than ever before. Maybe not this year or next year, but wanting to lay down those like levels. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like
So
there's
yeah.
something going off in you that's like baby, 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 baby?
Girl, I be having dreams. And the babies, it always be like at the least 3. One time I had a dream, I had like 7 babies, dude. And it was so strange. I was married to my French teacher. I can't believe I'm saying this. My French teacher, she's from the Ivory Coast, but she speaks like, well, obviously they speak French there. And she was in the dream, and now we had 7 little babies, and they was all different colors, and it was so weird. And it ain't no type of feelings towards my French teacher. She's an older married woman. It's like nothing at all. But it just come through whenever. It's dreams, you know?
Same. I had a dream last year where I was giving birth to a little boy. And I
You
was
was
like,
giving birth?
I gave birth to a little boy. And he came out
Wow,
and looked at me. And I was like, I see you. I see you.
right. Wow.
And I
That's
was
beautiful.
I'm like, are you my future baby? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Just out.
I would bet that you're gonna have a boy first, or even a second, but that boy is gonna come and you gonna look him in his eyes and know, like, it was in my dreams.
But what the Lord got for me, I'm just living life as best I can as we
Right. Definitely. Try to go with the flow, take it day by day.
When do you feel most safe?
I think when I'm alone in wherever I am, if I'm in an Airbnb, if I'm renting an apartment, wherever, like just alone, free to like out loud soliloquize, like speak to myself. It's my fancy way of saying speak to myself. And like just kind of be in my own zone and feel my emotions and not be accountable for them and how they come out and not be accountable for how someone else is perceiving them. You know what I mean? And I think right now with so much shit going on, anywhere you go, you know, you could feel something. And it's like at the gym, at the store, I've had an incident at the gym where I go and I've seen someone snap on the store clerk where I want to get involved, like, calm the fuck down, you know what I mean? And it's just like so much hate everywhere. I seen a meme like, we're in the days of the Fire Nation from Avatar.
I mean, we really are.
I feel like it's so much going on. I really just try to like stick to myself and just, yeah, lock that door, come in here, turn some music on, do whatever I gotta do and zone into myself. Yeah.
I have a theory, just off topic, then we'll bring it back on topic. I have a theory that the last Avatar is like us being ushered into the age of Aquarius.
Definitely.
That's just like my theory on this show. I love it so much.
Definitely, like the whole change. There's this this YouTube channel called Spiritual Science.
I've seen it before, yeah.
Good, dude. I love that channel. I love animation. If you can't tell, I brought the Avatar and everything. You love animation.
My whole thesis. Oh, go ahead.
I see you watch Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's Rick and Morty. Yeah, I love that show. That last episode of the last season was like, whoa.
What was it? I can't remember right now.
Where Morty, like the bad Morty becomes like the president of the galactic.
Yes. I have a theory that bad Morty is Rick's original Morty. Our Rick's original Morty. Yeah.
Do that too. Ooh.
First. What was that about your thesis though?
Oh, my thesis when I got my master's was about fat femmes in animation and like how they become racialized, how they become gendered, or how they represent like non-binary experiences and expressions and stuff like that. I feel like cartoons are the future.
You gotta text me a few good ones to watch or a few of your favorite animations.
A list of my favorite animations?
Yeah, just text me a couple of them.
Okay.
Or mention them right now.
I'm Adventure Time girl. That's
yes, for sure. Yes, I love Adventure Time so much. That show is beautiful beyond belief, for real. I've had so many lessons from that show.
Yeah, you can watch it. What was that?
What's your favorite episode?
Oh, okay. It's like season 7 or 8, and it's called Hall of Egress.
Yes. I love that episode as well.
And Finn has to be blind because he's gone into like this maze and his only way out is to relive his experience, but as a completely blind person. He loses his eyes.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And you know what I love most about that episode? At the end, when he gets out finally, and he's just like beaten down, exhausted, and he's so relieved to see Jake. And Jake's like, "What's up with you?" You know what I mean?
Oh, that must have been some cave.
It's like, okay, and it's just that's real. Like we go through so much, we put ourselves in it, and then we just get so mad and we get so frustrated. We go through it, And it's just like, bruh, it's you, you the problem.
It's like nothing happened. Continuing, when's the first time you realized you were Black?
Oh, yes. So there's this experience. I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to share it, but I will. So I must have been about 7 or 8, and I lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I'm from. And I lived in a neighborhood. It was fairly mixed, but it was primarily like Dominican. There was like Black people, white people, and primarily Dominican though. And these Dominican girls, they were like the girls, they were like the ones on the block. And one time I was out with them, and I was the only Black one. It was some Black boys, little kids, and I was with them. And they told me that my hair was nasty, and they was like, oh, Black girls got such nasty hair, and blah 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 blah. And I had went home and I asked my mom. Yeah, because my mom's Mexican. I asked my mom, why is my hair like this? Like, why is it not like yours? And she was like, girl, go play. Mm-hmm. And that was when I realized, and I went back outside, but I didn't go back by them. I was like, just on my own in my backyard. And I literally was just like thinking about it for the longest time. And that moment was like, I think that's when I formed the like incessive thought pattern of thinking, you know what I mean? Just like overly thinking shit over and over and over, how would I would react? I think that's the first time I remember doing that as well. And that's when I remember that. And I had to talk about it with my mom one day, because I'm like, Mom, why didn't you tell me? You knew what was coming. My mom's Mexican and Black, so I'm like, you knew where that came from, what that meant. But she had her own issues. I mean, she had her own, trying to identify herself with Black people being biracial and whatnot. And so, yeah.
What's been your experience of being Afro-Latin? Because I'm Afro-Latinx as well. So what is your experience of that, of that identity?
Yeah.
I don't talk about it a lot.
What'd you say?
I feel like we don't talk about being Afro-Latinx a lot.
I don't think either. And because I think one of the reasons why what I've experienced is you get this pushback from your, I say, Chicana family, whatever it may be, you get that pushback even from communities. I had one of my best friends actually went to Cal State LA with, we kind of stopped talking over one time, her telling me that that grandparents or parents who don't teach their parents of Latin descent who don't teach their children Spanish are whitewashed. And that just rubbed me so, rubbed me bad, rubbed me such in a bad way. I'm getting mad now.
Of making that comment, because I don't think that's true either.
Right. And I think with her, one of her biggest deals was she often kind of snuck into the conversation the division between the Black and Latino community, as if I could fix it, or as if I was the culprit. I don't know. But with that specific thing, and what I told her is like, first off, you don't know how difficult it is for first generation, and she's fairly privileged, she's like second generation, but first generation to come over, for their parents to come over, bring them over illegally. My grandparents, my mom's grandparents were illegal. They snuck over here and they fought hard as hell in Wisconsin, not California. You know what I mean? Fought hard as hell to provide the life that they provided for my grandmother and my mom. So they whitewashed. Come on now. When they did all the shit they did, my family's pictures are literally in the Mexican American Cultural Center back in our hometown, and that type of stuff right there is honestly my most common experience when it comes to me telling a person of Latin descent that I'm Mexican. Oh, do you speak Spanish? I'm like, un poquito, a little bit, Right. But again, my mom, she also pushed away from that because she's fairly light-skinned, but she looks Black, and she grew up being called a nigger, being chased, and all this type of stuff. Teachers, she has some stories about her teachers that you wouldn't even believe, you know what I mean? And so that's just what it is. But this is my culture whatever way it is. And you know what I'm saying? I grew up in a certain experience that makes me proud to say I'm Mexican and Black, you know? And it is what it is, yeah.
I appreciate you saying that. And this is hitting a spot for me too. Because I'm Mexican and Black as well, and my aunties were racist as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
also culturally, I was raised as a Mexican Latinx person. So
Yeah.
there's the cultural heritage that I gained, but because that side of my family was just so fucking rotten, it's not something I readily divulge with people. Um, because I get to the point where like y'all motherfuckers was so racist. I don't even want to claim being from you. Like,
Right.
I rather this blackness.
Yes.
Because that's at this point is all I have.
Right. I've definitely been there, and it hurts worse when it's your own people. You know what I mean? And even out in the daily world, I see brown people, I see my people, like, period. And it hurts when you receive that prejudice, the prejudices from your own people. It's like, come on, man, we in the same fucking fight. You know what I mean? I remember one of my cousins just antagonizing me with Trump when Trump first got elected, or maybe right before, and just trying to get me at a family get together, trying to pull me in. Like, it was just so blatantly disgusting. And it was just like, bro, first off, you about 15 years older than me. Why you want to argue with me? You know what I mean? And then it's just like, I don't even know. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, I'm reconciling it with a way. It's like it's still part of me. I can't just say, oh,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But there is some reconciliation that needs to happen. At least for me, it's just I'm not sure how to approach it or if I'm even ready to approach it.
I think with me, because I have been gone from home for so long, that it's easy for me to be like, fuck them. You know what I mean? But then when I come back around, and it's kind of sad that we not as tight. We down there grew up in the same houses at some point. And I don't know, sometimes I don't have much faith in people to try to even approach a reconciliation, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what I try my best to do is just not do that to others. Like, try to pass on the positive vibes. Like, my niece and my great niece and my other niece, they want to learn Spanish, okay?
Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Oh no, McCain. Let's resume it. I paused it because I thought like you froze. All right. Thank you for sharing that. My next question, when's the first time you realized you were queer?
So the first time I realized I had feelings towards women, if I can back a little bit, I was really little. I remember I was in kindergarten. I had a crush on this little girl, and she got into a car accident. I'll never forget. And she came back, and her face was all bruised up. And I had told the security guard, I was like, you're still beautiful. I was like, she's still beautiful, right? To the security guard, you know. And I had the biggest little crush on her. Then fast forward a little bit, I remember I used to have a crush on my sister's friend. She came one time, I was getting my hair braided. I'm probably like 11. She sat on my lap. That was like, whoosh, like, hello world. That was something else right there. But so far as queer, because when I think of queer, I think of like just so much openness. And that's like realizing I was queer came after realizing that I was attracted to women, came after like first, second, third, fourth, fifth girlfriend. You know what I mean? I think I would have to say probably in LA, yeah. Wow. In LA. And I think it's a lot to do with representation, because growing up where I grew up, I didn't even really know what being gay was. Gay was a term that you use to talk about somebody. You know what I mean? It wasn't an identity. I didn't know I did know. Now that I'm older, I know that they were gay, but I didn't know when I was like in high school and whatnot. And so having like my perspective just completely bust wide open stepping out of Wisconsin and stepping out of the South and realizing that, well, okay, to be a lesbian does not mean I need to be one or another thing. You know what I mean? I can just actually just be myself and dress the way I like to dress, and I'll attract who I'll attract, and that'll be awesome. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I would say LA, maybe like 23, 22. Mm-hmm.
What would you say to that 11-year-old, 12-year-old self?
Right. I would say, what would I say? It's like, what would I say that I think that I would have actually listened to is the thing, you know? I would say, oof. I would say you could do whatever you want, you know? When I was younger, I thought you had to do certain stuff to be successful. I mean, I still think about that sometimes. It's like I gotta decondition that part of my brain, but I'm becoming less and less attached to that like social structure. But at 11 years old, I was just starting to play the guitar, you know, and I just thought I couldn't do it. You know, I was going to theater classes and I went to high school for theater, and I just thought this is fun, but I can't do that. You know, I can't make a living out of this. And I would simply tell myself, like, whatever you want to do, you can actually do that. Just do it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
What do you want to hear from your 60-year-old self?
I'm like, we still got it, bitch. No, I was kidding. I'd say, that's a hard one. I would say, relax, probably. Relax, yeah. Take it easy, enjoy the moments. It's all gonna work out the way it will, regardless, you know, and just relax. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So those answers, I really like how people respond.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love your answer. How do you experience love? We kind of touched on it, but you know, how do you experience it?
In general, or like from intimate partner?
It could be from yourself,
Okay.
from your community, from a partner, from the world, whatever calls to you.
I say, this has been a really big thing for me recently, because the only person I think I've ever loved, I actually had dinner with her recently, and I realized something that I realized back then, but I didn't know, I didn't have the verbiage for it, I say. And I would think that being seen and being heard is how I want to feel love. Like you said to the baby, like, I see you. You know, that's so much, because we have our own realities in our mind, and then we see someone and we judge them. It could be bad or it could be good. It is what it is. It's a defense mechanism, you know. But I feel like if you could really just take a moment to see me, to hear me, if I could find someone, I don't think I've ever found someone that really, I would be really happy, you know? It's like a lot of nicks and crannies with my personality, and I feel like with everyone's personality. And when someone gets one of those nicks and crannies, like, okay, there's a broad, you go to law school, you do this, you do that, whatever the hell. But then like, oh, you also love Steven Universe. You know what I mean? You also listen to whatever the fuck, Mozart, I don't know, like these little tiny intimate details from my mom to myself, appreciating it for myself and not being like embarrassed or ashamed about these little things, or from a friend or a partner. That's awesome, because those little small details are what essentially make me myself. It's not these bold in your face ideas or whatever, you know what I mean?
Seems like you're really interested in the intricacy, like
Yeah,
seeing your intricacy, seeing like
right.
small things that builds you up into this much
Yeah,
wonderful.
yes. Not even just seeing it and hearing it, but also like enjoying it. You know what I mean? Something that you do by yourself. What's something that you do by yourself, Mimi?
Some things I do by myself.
That nobody would guess you do, like unless they really know you.
You know what? Poetry is
Yeah,
writing poetry. It's a
yeah,
very um, so much of what I do and what I create is all about sharing outside, right? Like create a music video, it's for y'all. You know, writing a book, it's for y'all. Or just performance, it's for everybody. But when I lately in my poetry, I've been trying to get to the gut, like
yeah,
to like really expressing my fears and expressing the things that are not so polished and not so pretty about myself. And poetry, because it is such a writing in general, is such a lonely sport, like a lonely tradition. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but for me it is because it is so intimate. It's been that one thing that I feel is like mine.
right. And it's like because you do that in such a not secretive, but just like intimate, close, tender way. If someone, whoever it may be, came and like, Mimi, you wrote a poem today, let me hear it. You know what I mean? That
Mhm.
shit will go miles, miles, and miles. Like, yes, I wrote a haiku actually. You know what I mean? Like that shit goes miles, and it doesn't have to be shared. It doesn't have to get a bajillion likes, or the person that I'm reading to, I don't even like it. Actually, I would love for you to be like, it's not my favorite one. You know what I mean? But it's just like for you to take that step to make that interest is, I love that. You know?
It's taking the time to care, to even care about
Yeah.
this.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Ooh, it's beautiful, McCain. I really hope that we both find.
Dang, girl. Yes.
If you can change your identity, would you? And when I mean like change your identity, it doesn't have to be like black to white. It could be like,
Okay.
I want to be a seahorse today, or I want to be, you know, a star somewhere, some nebula.
If those are options, seahorses and stars.
Any
Yeah. I
option.
didn't know that was on the table. um, so now my like super existential crisis introspective self is like, well, essentially we are seahorses and stars because we're all made up of the same molecular structures, you know? Right? But I guess I wouldn't, because it's been a rough one. You know what I mean? It's been a struggle to be who I am today. And now I gotta see all of this through. I gotta see how it ends. You know what I mean? Maybe the next life, yeah, I'll definitely be a supernova and I'll explode on Earth. But no, but I want to see. I want to see this one through. Right? I want to see this one through. I put in a lot of work. You know.
Mm. Mm. Wow. I'm loving all your answers.
Thanks.
Is there anything else that I didn't touch upon that you really want to express in this moment?
I did want to share that I am doing another album. I haven't done one in years because I kind of put that away. Like deleted my Instagram. I have no contacts. So I did this album completely by myself. The mastering and mixing. I'm playing the guitar, the violin, the bass, the piano. I'm super excited. It's super different. It's not MCing at all. You know, I mean, it's kind of like poetically MCing, I suppose. Some of the songs don't even have words. And it's just raw emotions for me and for the shit that I've been through over the last couple of years. And however I can get it out of me is how it comes out on that mic. And I will be releasing that very soon. I'm not sure yet. I was gonna say a date just now, but I'm like, nah, I don't say it because I don't know yet. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to sharing it with people.
So because you and I, we do music,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just kind of riff off of your answer. What initiated? Like, what was the most, like, what is your process of making a project? It's different for me with every project, but I want to hear yours.
It's so different. With this new project, my whole goals and everything about music is different. You know, before I said I was making music to get like money, but I was touring and I was hustling and I was trying to grab features who had followers and none of that. I'm not into none of that. Music is one of the first things I've ever done other than writing to express myself. And it's what I'm passionate about. And I'm literally just doing it as therapy at this point. You know what I mean? And this album started in March when I flipped the fucking roof or whatever. It just went a little berserk when Corona started. And I came to the States and I couldn't go back. And I had already bought my flight and I had a job waiting for me in France, I told you. And I couldn't, completely out of my control. So I been trying to shut the illusion of control. It's like, what can you do? You can't do shit. And so one of my bestest friends, she bought me a Groupon for my birthday for guitar lessons. And I told you that guitar I've had literally for 11 years. And she got it for me out the storage and she fixed it. And she bought the Groupon. I was like, okay, I gotta learn how to play this thing now. You know what I mean? Like she did all of this. And so I've been playing it, taking lessons, and then I just started creating. And the first song I created actually, it's called Skin and Bones, but it talks about why'd you come in here? Like why'd you come into this skin suit? And just kind of reminding myself, right? It's kind of reminding myself, like, bro, why'd you come in here again? Because I'm pretty sure it's not the first time I done did this whole human experience, you know what I mean? And it's just like, remember, it's like just to live. And it's really just been raw ass emotions on that. Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Please send it my way.
Oh, for sure. I gotta finish the last song and I'll be sending it out.
Ooh, that last, what's your process of, ooh, that's a good question. What is your process of ordering your albums, your projects?
So I'm still figuring, I literally just changed one of the places like yesterday. It's kind of like the feeling, like for this particular one, I'm trying to go from optimism, like a feeling of optimism and introspection. And then the last song is actually about my nephew who passed away a couple of years ago and he was murdered. And it's just like this guttural, just like deep, dark sounds. That's the last one. That's the last one on the way out of the album. And it's like a minute long. And I've been trying to find a way to express my emotions about that because it's hard for me. And that song, when I put that one on the album, I was like, everything has to lead to this, you know, because this started this whole journey. This started me thinking about going back to law school. It started me like kind of just realizing that like, this is so cliche, but you could die at any time. It's so cliche, but it's so true. I mean, you can die at any time. So like wake the fuck up and live, you know what I mean? And so everything pretty much leads to there. It starts super optimistic and introspective and it goes more introspective, more like self-awareness. And then it takes a little break and it goes to just some playful voice recordings that I did in China. And then it goes deep. The second half of the album just gets pretty dark and it starts with a dream that I had about me riding through LA on a big ass giraffe. Big ass giraffe, bigger than the buildings. And I'm like in this dream, just happy as fuck, just riding on a giraffe. I don't know. But for me, it meant this part of myself that I want to be able to stimulate myself so much. I want to be able to just enjoy myself. And people used to always call me a giraffe when I was younger because I'm like, I don't know. But but I think it's like goes back to that. So lame. But just trying to like really enjoy my own company type of thing. And it goes all the way into that, and then it leads into him, and then it lets go.
It just okay. Wow. I'm
Yeah, and then his, it just like lets go.
I'm excited to
What is that?
I said I'm so excited to hear.
Yeah, it's the realest music I've ever made. It's so vulnerable, to be honest, and it's so tender, and it's just like, if you don't like this, you don't like me. Fuck it. No.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I think I think rawness is necessary. I feel like no one's fucking raw anymore. Let's just I'm on my own shit. I'm on.
Yeah. You gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep. I found this one girl, OK Kaya. I think that's how you pronounce her. It's OK Kaya, maybe. Have you heard of her?
No.
No, I think she's originally from Sweden, but she was like born in New York, or maybe grew up in New York. And just beautiful music, very ambient type, emotional, but not like overly emotional, like some R&B love song, but more so just like dealing with your shit emotional, you know, kind of angry and kind of sad and kind of happy and etc. But yeah, it's hard to find shit that matches the mood these days, really. Unless I'm trying to turn up, it's like,
Everything I feel like everything's so watered down, so
yeah,
plastic, so marketed. So it's like that rawness, that realness, it's
mm-hmm.
there, but I feel like you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta dig to find that artist that really does that.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
There's this,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I want to just tell you that I absolutely love a plastic kind of love. That's my shit. I love it. So fucking beautiful. Yes,
Oh, thank
definitely.
you. Yeah. That
It's
song,
very good.
I'll go for it.
Go for what you saying.
I was gonna say that song was about a nigga. It was just about a man who was getting on my nerves.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, we all talking about the same handful of stuff. It's just how we portray it, you know? And I think it's really awesome when just knowing you, or like seeing you, and we spend like that much time together every time we see each other or like talk or whatever, but it's always a good ass vibe. But I think being able to like really enjoy someone's journey, you know what I mean? Someone's journey from what was that first album you did?
I did the ego trip,
The Ego Trip, yeah, the Ego Trip
and
on SoundCloud.
that's not my favorite. That's not my favorite project. It was a project that just I had to prove to myself that I could actually make music.
Right, put it out there. And that's what I'm saying. Like the journey is so beautiful, and it's just like it's enjoyable to see. Yeah. I got a handful of friends where I just watch them. I'm like, damn, girl, you really did that, you know?
Oh, I feel the same way about you, McCain. And I
Thank you.
do love our interactions. I love that you and I kind of just keep in touch with each other, and it doesn't ever feel like we miss a beat. I really appreciate that energy with someone.
Sure. Hopefully one of these days. Oh, when I was in LA a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I was like, dang, McCain gonna come through. I'm gonna buy them a drink. Like, what's up? Like, we gonna have fun.
I looked at the Uber, that shit said $80. I went to the hotel. Straight to the hotel, like not today. Why the hell? Uber in LA is like corrupt for real.
Oh,
It's like ridiculous.
they're trying to make money off of any old fucking thing at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. But we'll get together at some point.
Yeah, if you come to West Coast, come to Oakland if you can. If
Yeah,
not, I have a feeling that I'll probably be in London within the next 2 years again.
definitely. Although I don't plan on going back to the UK though. I think if it opens up, I'm gonna go to that job in France. But I really been thinking about Panama because I wanna settle down now and like buy some land, buy a house, whatever. So I wanna go spend a few months in Panama. So I'll be on this side of the world for a while, and I'll always wanna link up for sure.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. All right, let me
Thank
stop the recording real quick.
you. Okay.